Why would you have kids if you can't financially support it and want the best for your kid? Some people don't realize just how expensive kids are. Bold of you to assume they were thinking. Penis feel good in vagine. Chasing short-term benefits with no consideration for the long-term consequences is the norm for most. Sometimes you are financially stable when you have a child, and then financial hardship can happen. Life is unpredictable and things happen. I mean, look at how COVID-19 has affected so many people in various financial ways. Examples being people getting laid off of jobs due to COVID or being quarantined, especially in the beginning, people not being able to pay their rent and then being evicted. A parent can pass away, leaving the other parent with the finances. A company can get bought out and the new company does a bunch of layoffs. A parent who can get sick, for example, with cancer, going through chemo, and now they have a bunch of hospital bills. A parent loses a child and goes into a deep depression, not being able to work anymore, and the other parent is the sole provider financially. Single parents just trying to work and take care of their kids. Maybe their partner went to get milk and never came back. One just trying to go to school to get a better education, but they have to put it on hold back they can't afford to do both, etc. Throughout life, your finances will change. Sometimes you'll move up and sometimes you'll go down. Sometimes you'll get lucky, you'll have family and friends, people to help you get back on your feet. But for many, that's not the reality. Sometimes you have to rely on welfare to get back on your feet. You can try to plan and be as prepared financially, but sometimes it's just not all black and white. Not everyone who have children are just lazy and trying to mooch off the systems. In my experience and from what I've seen, you can only be financially prepared. We all just try to do the best we can. Good question. I think it's because a lot of people can't conceive of the financial, mental, physical and emotional cost of having children. For many, it's a rosy dream until it actually happens to them. Another good one. Why would pro-birthers want kids to be born to parents who can't afford them? Accidental pregnancies. Because you live in a shithole that makes it as difficult as possible to get an abortion. In short, sex education in the US doesn't usually teach you about birth control, and abortion is not easy to find. People thinking the cuteness factor will fix everything, no foresight or planning required. SMH. Mistakes happen, and hopes for better economics abound. On top of the existing comments, I want to point out one that I haven't seen mentioned yet. People's circumstances change. You can afford your family and then have your life change in an instant. We live in a country that does not support its citizens. No health care, education, etc. We went through hell getting pregnant. Finally had our son via IVF. I had complications after, and in a 3-year period I had 29 surgeries. Couldn't work in that time. We could afford to have a kid. We couldn't after paying for years of infertility treatment, followed by years of medical bills and surgeries while being down one whole income, with no additional support. We are now pretty heavily in debt. I'm finally recovered, and we have a hell of a hole we have to try to dig out of. But debt is a fickle beast. Once you're in it, it just piles on. And we are not alone in this. So many people get pulled under by unexpected medical expenses and lack of support. A lot of us women are bullied by family if we don't have kids. I've legitimately been told, "You're not fulfilling your duty as a woman," by a family member. They also guilt trip. If you have them, you gotta work to do the best for them. It's called responsibility. Having said that, I'm glad I'm childless. Because you found out after 6 weeks. IDK. Ask the motherfuckers trying to make it harder to get an abortion. For me, there was no guidance. Also for my wife. But we are trying to our ability to prevent that with our kids. No access to abortion as one reason, or healthcare in general. Because when your position in society is as fucked as it can be, having children and taking care of them is the only light in your life, and almost literally the only reason you have left to live. Optimism. Because tragic events happen. Abortions are now illegal. And the foster care system is an absolute joke.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.